I'm Angela Cherby at the Berlinale for Fred Film Radio. I'm here with Lucile Hadžihalilović and Marion Cotillard for the movie The Ice Tower. Okay, Lucile, the film is inspired by the Snow Queen, and why did you choose that tale, and which was your approach to it?
I have been always fascinated by this tale because it's one of the only tale when the protagonist is a young girl that goes to a journey to save someone, and then I was fascinated by the encounter there is between the girl and the Snow Queen, and that was my main focus in that film. So I cut out, let's say, the point of the story and the whole long journey the girl has to go through to focus on this encounter, and then from the beginning I began to I wanted to write a script to do this film. I thought that in the story, in the original story, there is a mirror that reflects the world in a with distortion made by the devil, and I always thought that it could be the screen and the lens of a camera. So I thought it was exciting to adapt it in environment more realistic, but within a story within the story, and to make somehow a film about cinema.
Yeah, actually, the movie is like the I know, Chinese dolls. You know, there's something inside was something inside was something, and also for you, Marion, for your character, Christine sees herself in the film that she's doing, and in the eyes of the girl that she's there spying on her. So how did you build up Christine? How was the process for you to build up the character of Cristina, this cold woman, very lonely and very unforgiving sometimes?
There's something that I love about preparing for a film, and dive in a character and try to understand where her emotion comes from, and the fact that this is a very mysterious character, so I needed to kind of crack the mystery, but not all of it, because I think it's interesting when you have a mysterious character to keep that part of mystery, even for the actress who's going to portray this person. But I needed to understand some aspects of her emotion, so I did something that I often do when with a mysterious character, that I write scenes that have nothing to do with the movie, but just to have kind of something to fed me with. For example, there's this scene where she goes out of the screening room and she gets very emotional, and I needed to understand why she was that emotional. So and that's a very fun part of the job in preparing for a movie, is writing scenes, inventing relationships, inventing characters that Lucile doesn't know anything about. So that's how I created her kind of arc of emotion.
And there is an actual, real, visible, good chemistry on screen between you and Clara Pacini. The two characters, these two women are very strong, both in different way, and on screen you work very well. So how did you work with her? Because she was a good support for your character.
Well, I think it's the magic of casting and the talent of the director, who will choose people who have this dynamic and this vibration that works on screen. I remember the first time I met Clara, I was very intimidated because what those two women have to go through together is kind of dark and violent. And knowing that what we would go through with our characters, I was kind of scared to look at her in the eyes. I was like, oh my God, what I'm gonna do to this girl is really terrible. And so it creates already this energy, like it's within you when you meet your co-star for the first time and you know what you're gonna experience together. It's kind of fascinating, intimidating, but it's good. It's good energy because it means that that something is working. Like if I had met her and I would be like, oh, well, you know, like just good friends. And I think the dynamic is different when you feel already something of your character when you meet the people you're going to work with.
Yeah, right. Lucile, why did you choose to set the action in the 70s?
I think it was, first of all, it was because I thought, because there is this mystery, this magicness and mystery around the actress, around all the world of cinema, I thought it was a time in the 70s when it was still believable, right? Then that now with all the media, we know everything, or we think we know everything, so there is no magic anymore, maybe. And so I thought it was better that it happened at that time with no, of course, no internet, no, even we don't see any TV or, sorry. And also because that's my, that's the time where I was a teenager and when I discovered cinema, and so I guess naturally it was.
So there is a little bit of you in Jeanne. The
well,
way
I
that
wish
she's describing this new world that she doesn't know anything about.
I wish I had been as strong as her, but and as striking as her. But yes, there is. I'm in that character mostly, I suppose.
I have one last question for you about the aesthetics of the film and some choices that you made, like you choose to set the action in a very rationalist city. Bozen, which is very fascist, very square, which is a huge contrast with the fantasy world that you're building.
Exactly, that was the reason why we chose this city. It was because I thought if we had find a 19th century type of architecture, it would have been too much already, like a bit of fantasy, and it was a good opposition between the set on stage and this rationalist type of architecture. And we were lucky to have this co-production with Germany and this region in Italy, where it could be part of a co-production. And Bolzano was really a perfect place for us to do the city and to make an opposition with the fantasy world of a film within the film. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Marion Cotillard and Lucile Hadžihalilović for the film The Ice Tower here from the Berlinale. I'm Angela Cherby for Fred, the Festival Insider.